Joining us now, two young virtual volunteers from Chennai, Preeti Emmanuel and Grace Emmanuel. In fact, they become so popular for their posts on Instagram, giving verified, credible information to help people find beds, oxygen supply, ambulances. It all began with when their entire family got infected. In fact, they lost their maternal grandparents. But still, you chose to turn the tragedy into an opportunity to serve. Preeti?
Yes, that's the fact you said it. So, yeah, we wanted to convert it into a lot of positivity. We lost two people and we didn't want that to happen to anyone. And we thought God's love was the weapon we had. And we saw that in example through the life of our grandfather. So, we wanted to be examples. And we thought it's the right time to start. So, whatever we knew, the little we knew, we just passed it on to the people we knew. So, like, don't take COVID lightly, or probably these are the symptoms. How do you monitor yourself? How do you go about it? You need a doctor for help. These were the small questions we asked them, and these are the small things we actually passed on. And we did it in our own circles, and it started off in a very small way. She started posting, and followed by me. And then when we understood that it was reaching so many people, even a lot of strangers, and when they started counting on us, we knew that we were growing for productivity, for something that was going to impact and change the lives of a lot of people. So that's where this journey that's where this journey started, and that's how it's growing. And I'm sure it's going to be just a start to a lot of beautiful things ahead, because it's about uplifting lives. It's about um, what do you say? Yeah, being there, caring for people, and actually taking God's love to a lot of people. So a lot of them were telling us, don't stop it with this. It's not just not. It shouldn't be just for COVID, but I think I see it just as a beginning to a lot more stuff that we are called to do probably.
Now, what all you share, what kind of information you share, and how do you verify? Because we witness so much of unverified information.
We have volunteers with us who work from all around the world. We have about 100 volunteers. We split them into groups. So each team takes care of various COVID needs, like verified ambulance services and food providers in Chennai, verified hospital leads, oxygen leads, food providers in Chennai. So we have teams that take care of each COVID
We even
need.
refer some pharmacies that where you get certain medicines where
Right.
yeah.
Right.
And
Verification?
all of our volunteers, including us, we call up hospitals, we call up these providers, and we verify it personally. So it is trustworthy, and we verify them personally. So
Through
yeah,
doctors as well. That is
Right.
the most.
since we are involved in the verification process, we are confident that it is valid.
Right.
When you get it from a doctor, there's nothing more you need, right? So.
So you help people in need of beds, oxygen, by giving them information on where exactly they can go and find.
Yes.
Exactly.
We connect both sides. Verified leads on one side, people who need it on the other. So they know that we are that point of connect. So they count on us, and they get in touch, and yeah, we just connect.
And how have you built this network of volunteers? You said many who actually made use of your services, made use of your information leads, they become volunteers now.
Yes, absolutely. They needed something, so they texted us the first time, and they came back the second time because they got it and they wanted to give it to someone else. So they know where to get it from, Andamari. They wanted to join with us and work, so we could help a lot more people.
Right.
Each of us have our own circles, right?
You're an architect.
Yeah, I'm an architect by profession. Yes.
And Grace, you were actually preparing for civil services. You are an IAS aspirant, but still, instead of preparing for your exams, you chose to help others.
I put a pin on my preparation, and I stepped into virtual volunteering full time. So that's what I've been doing. I've taken a big risk, but I feel lives are more important at this point of time, the second wave. So yeah, it takes a lot of
Are you
courage and
still, in a sense, serving people as collectors would do?
exactly. I don't know, but even if I don't have the three-letter word behind my name, I'm still able to serve people with what little sources I have.
Right. Tell me, what is that joy you experience when people say, "Yes, I found this bed, I found oxygen"?
I feel satisfied. I feel meaning, a new meaning to life. I'm able to make a difference out there from where I am, from my home. We're using social media legitimately and in the right way, I feel. We're putting it to the best use.
How many followers you have?
13,000 on Instagram and
I
3,000.
have under 2,000.
You have to use it more often.
Right.
Yeah.
NDTV needs you.
Okay, and then you're also on Telegram.
Yes, uncle.
Okay. Now, she is taking care of the needs within Chennai, but
Yeah.
you have expanded, you're reaching out to the
Other
whole South
districts
India.
in Tamil Nadu. Yeah, and we have expanded a little more into other states as well. Yeah, other districts of Tamil Nadu, and we are now expanding. We are slowly going into the other parts of South India as well. Like we are covering a few cities as of now. In few
So
other
these volunteers, where are they placed?
volunteers all over the world, actually.
All over the world.
All over the world, not just Chennai, and not people are not trying to help us because he or she belongs to that particular country or that place. They just want to help. I even see foreigners volunteer and come forward to help. So yeah, it's like that.
Any touching moments you can recollect?
Touching moments. I think people found beds on the verge of dying. So what more in life? I mean, in the ambulance, when you hear the beep sound, you know the person could be collapsing any minute, and they find a bed and they stabilize. What more? And not just one experience. So many of them, and I think both of us had it. We didn't have time to share it, but I'm sure this is where we share it. Yeah.
And people who are able to save precious lives, people who could not make it, all of them get back to you.
Mostly, some come back and say thank you because the person survived. But what's, like you asked, what's more touching is when people come back with the person dead and still say thank you. That there's this girl who got back and said thank you because my uncle survived 2 more days because of you, because of that one bed. So yeah, it has so much value in their lives. She said I could see him alive few more moments, few more minutes. That was so precious. That was so close to our heart, actually.
Right. Now, it's a huge challenge for the government. They have a helpline, they have a Twitter handle, but still many complain that when they need help the most, the government is not able to provide them that, although they may have all the resources. In simple terms, can you explain the system you have put in place, that you're able to reach out to people needing beds, oxygen, ambulances, food?
We are out there as individuals, so people know us for who we are. They know that, okay, there's a person called Grace Emmanuel who exists and Preeti Emmanuel who exists. So they come to us confidently. They know that these people will definitely help us. It is not like any other helpline or platform out there or team out there. So they know us for who we are. So they trust us. And we have volunteers who are so helpful. They work 24/7. Our WhatsApp groups, our volunteer group.
My question is, if you can explain how things work. Somebody may ask you for beds, someone may ask you for oxygen. How do you really pursue all this and make sure?
So every single day we update all the verified leads regarding with regards to bed, oxygen, food, whatever is updated for that day. So it is verified, it is updated. So they
It's
can check their
available for the day,
profile. They don't even have to talk to us. They have to just check our profile and our stories. So they will know whatever is updated for today in Chennai. So that's how it works. It is there out there. We have highlights for each need. So they can go into it. They can just...
How have you categorized your teams to follow these? Actually?
Yeah, we have specialized teams. We have doctors and vaccination team who counsel people for vaccination. They get us vaccine drives and where it is happening. So we have teams specialized in WhatsApp. Like our
Could be a trade secret, but tell me that.
yeah, we have WhatsApp groups and they work 24/7.
Internal groups.
Yeah, this is internal.
Okay.
We work 24/7. It is active. It is on fire all the time. Most of our phones are on silent because it is active all the time. So yeah, that is the truth.
So one team takes care of oxygen, one team takes care of beds. What are the different teams you have?
Ambulance, food providers in Chennai, hospital leads, oxygen, emergency cases, especially emergency cases.
Teleconsultation.
Yeah, we call them up in minutes and we get their need done. Teleconsultation groups, vaccination teams. That's how we've divided all the needs.
How many direct messages you get?
When it was at the peak, even 200. Yeah, when things were like really bad last week and like 2 weeks back and all, even 200, 300 DMs a day.
And you reply all of them?
Yeah, all of it.
all
It
of
takes
it.
hours to
We don't
actually
miss DM.
go through the entire thing, and it takes so much time to actually look into one lead, one thing, and just connect them with the right person for it to be like case closed. It takes so much time. So you have to
We
be
have
awake through the night.
volunteers.
That's why we're working.
The job has become easier
Yeah.
since we have volunteers. A lot
Volunteers.
of
Do you guys get time to sleep?
Not really, uncle.
How much time you work?
18 to 19 hours a day. Yeah.
20 hours you work.
Yeah, we do.
And during that 4-hour gap, if something comes,
No, we feel bad for that. We feel guilty when we speak, when we sleep. Sorry. No, we feel bad for that. We actually feel guilty when we sleep. So now we're a little relaxed because we have volunteers. They might attend to it. Yeah.
now Chennai had floods when we were able to mobilize help in a different level. Now, what next for you?
As a family, we have plans of opening mission hospitals in the future. That's like a long-term goal, but for now, we will keep this going. We'll keep this group active, and we will volunteer for any need, even in the future.
No, this has been
After
a
Corona.
long time dream actually to support the underprivileged, destitute women. In fact, we have a clothing brand called Zari. So that was actually done to employ and give a livelihood to such people actually, destitute women especially. So we also want to shelter a lot of people, aged people, orphan children. Could be anyone. Could even be a person who's called mad on the road, sitting with no one. We want to shelter such people, and yeah, whatever is the needful, we are actually looking forward to that. Probably a trust or anything of that sort. But yeah, it is coming up in the near future. We definitely want to do it.
We don't know how bad this COVID pandemic could still get. We are in the midst of the second wave, but still you have established a system which you're quite confident could actually handle.
As you said, uncle, we've built a system of our own. So I feel we can handle anything that comes up, even in the future. Yeah.
Like I said, it's just the beginning, no?
What do your parents tell you?
Parents have one more. Yeah, parents have always told us to do what we're doing now. But we didn't know how to get started, and this is what they want to do as well. See, they always say, whatever love you have, spread it around. God's love is the biggest gift. All of us have received it. Let the world see it in you. So that's been that.
You said ordinary people, even ward boys in the hospital, give you information. Tell us about that.
Usually when patients get admitted, their attenders and their family members, they DM us, they talk to me, they inform me saying there are beds available in this hospital. Please send someone who's in need, refer this hospital, I'm right here, there are beds, send someone. So they help us out. All the attenders, patients, as you said, all the ground level staff, they help us out.
Grace, do hospitals and doctors get in touch with you now that you help so many people?
Yes, uncle. Seeing the work we do, a lot of doctors from all around India, they volunteered with us. They provide free teleconsultation for our patients. They get us bed availability status from the respective hospitals where they work. So yeah, we've also built a team of doctors.
All right. Now, what next, Preeti?
What next? We just got started, and to be very open, even if there's going to be another wave, we have all confidence that we can handle it better. It's going to make things a lot more easier because we've done a lot of groundwork. We have volunteers now. We know what works at which hospital. We probably have a lot more contacts with the medical line workers, the frontline workers. So everything put together is going to fight the pandemic a lot better. And not just this pandemic, it could be any natural disaster or any other calamity coming up. I'm sure we can apply the same confidence and the same formula to it, and we can still overcome it in a much stronger way.
And how can people join your efforts as volunteers now?
They can just DM us. It's as simple as that.
Right.
Yeah, so they can just DM us and tell us in what way they can help us and how exactly they want to be involved in this work. And they can get started the very next minute. That's about it, because that's how we have virtual volunteers helping us from all over the world, right? So
Can I
it's
add
as-
something? If they have a mobile phone, some internet connectivity, a good internet connectivity, an hour or so to spare in a day, and some mainly passion, they have the passion to serve people, they can join us. They can DM us on Instagram, direct message on Instagram, and we will add them to our groups.
Yeah, it could even be the smallest of. It could even be the smallest of things that they can do. Probably they can even get us a contact of some doctor or some hospital.
They can verify.
Yeah, they can actually find leads. Some people are good at that. They can verify leads and they can let us know. So small things. Even if they want to volunteer for counseling, anything could be great. Yeah, and we are actually looking forward to expand. Now that we were able to cover Tamil Nadu, we have the confidence that we've started off with the other states. I'm sure we will be able to help them. And who knows, probably, yeah, God's grace, we could be able to cover the whole of India as well. We have the confidence and we are actually working on it.
Right. Tell me your Instagram handles.
Okay, my Instagram handle's name is Grace_Emmanuel Rajan, and Aka's Instagram handle is Preeti_Emmanuel.
You're also on Telegram.
We have public channels on Telegram where anybody can join in using the link, or they can just type End COVID Chennai _ the Emmanuels. That is the Chennai Telegram channel that I handle, and my sister handles End COVID South India _ the Emmanuels.
We also have Mrs. Pamela Emmanuel, their mother. Ma'am, you must be quite proud.
Yeah, I'm.
Did you ever complain? You're always on the phone.
No,
Take some
I-
sleep,
no,
get some
no.
sleep.
I always encourage them to do that. I never stop them from doing all that.
Right, right. And how do you feel when people call them? They get relief, they get beds, oxygen.
I do feel very happy, and the best thing is I pray for them. And I pray for the patients. I uphold them in my prayers.
Right.
I always support them.
Right. And you think it's important people like you, youngsters like you, should also reach out to people, communities at this times of crisis?
Definitely. Definitely. I think it's everybody's duty, even if it doesn't happen in your home. It's just the same feeling that you're going to get if at all it happens. So that sense of social responsibility should be there. And for those of us who know God, it's very important to give away that love than to just have it and keep it yourself. And that's what my family has done. Our family has done exactly the same thing to us. My mom has always motivated us to spread God's love. My grandfather lived it himself. Yeah, my dad also, yeah. But our grandfather was the epitome of it. I mean, one person we've seen live a life like that. He was an IRS officer who retired as the assistant vice president of the income tax appellate tribunal. But he was so simple, so humane. He would just, if he saw a leper on the road, he would be there the next minute cleaning him. And if he saw a daily wages laborer struggling with his load, he would go help him, push it for him. Yeah, ease off his load, his pressure, and he had so much of joy in it. And then he would get into his siren car and leave the place. So I know this is a very small initiative, but then it's actually making so much impact and it's changing so many lives for the good. So we actually dedicate this work that we do to God as a sense of gratitude for placing His love within us, and we also want to dedicate it to our Tata. Late Shri TVK Nataraja Chandran. Like I said, he was an IRS officer who was the senior vice president of the income tax appellate tribunal, and he would have been really proud and super happy had he been there. But I'm sure we are putting his motivation in action today. We are trying to give it to the world as much as we can. So yeah, we are working on it, and we will pursue it. We will continue working on it as much as we can. Right. To everyone who's going through Corona, right. This is not such a big thing. It's just in your mind. It's about trusting in God, and it's about a lot of positivity. You can definitely, overcome this. Yeah, this is nothing. So yeah, stay strong. Sending you a lot of love and peace from the Emmanuels.
Right. All right. Thank you both very much for your time. As someone called you, said you're doing God's work, virtual volunteering in a big way, and hope you succeed in your IAS dreams and become an officer to serve people with much more power and reach. Thank you very much for your time, and certainly an inspiring story, a model worth replicating. Even the government could actually take a leaf out of their experience, out of their model. In Chennai with Shah Vijay, Sam Daniel, Find It TV.